So, as always, master strategist and mentor Newt Gingrich has some important thoughts for the GOP in the upcoming midterm elections. Got a good paper out on it. Newt, welcome back, as always, former speaker, of course, and Fox News contributor. We did talk to, I don't know if you saw the segment, James, on the reconciliation tax cuts for Ronald Reagan. I don't think we're going to get that kind of reconciliation bill. But your point is affordability, socialism, communism, bad values. GOP is just, get on the stick and start hammering away. As I understand it, those are the key elements.
Well, I think first we have to make sure the Democrats are unacceptable. But second, we have to have a positive Republican program. My hope is that President Trump will give a very visionary speech at the convention in September and talk about these things you and I believe in, which are the things that not just Reagan, but the American people believe in. Lower taxes, more economic growth, less regulation, more entrepreneurship, new job creation. I mean, things that are certainly possible and that could be developed. I think we also have to recognize that you look at the two parties. I'm just doing a piece for the New York Sun about the rise of Native American rights in the Democratic Party, which will be the next stage after reparations for slavery. And the Democrats have become a big government socialist party with weird values. We drive that home, but we also have to offer better solutions. And frankly, I've been shocked, Larry. I've been getting lots of briefings from the Trump team. We're doing so many good things that we're not communicating, that if the average American saw in their health costs, in their tax bills, in a variety of other ways, how big the changes are. Just take the Trump savings account. There are going to be several million families by the election. They're going to be wealthier, have a better future for their children because of Donald J. Trump. Now the question will be, do they connect those two? Do they think, wow, it's great this is happening. There are going to be lower drug prices, but do people connect that to the Trump administration, which is making it possible? So I think the Republicans have a challenge, first to find the left, who are, I think, potentially totally unacceptable. Second, remind people there are a lot of things we're doing that are right. Third, your point, offer a better visionary future. We need a speech from Trump at this unique first-time convention that tells us why is our future going to be better, not just as a country, but for you and me and our families and our children and our grandchildren. And then finally, I believe, and this is the biggest jump, I believe we're at the edge of a brand new world of talking about health in ways that the Democrats can't match, that don't fit the current news media, but that in fact offer longer lives, better health, lower cost, greater convenience, where the experts tell me you could easily have today's 20-year-olds live to be 115 and have the vitality of a 60-year-old. The implications of that, no more Alzheimer's, no more diabetes, no more kidney disease, the number of things we're on the edge of. And we ought to be the party that wants to bring you the best health at the lowest cost with the greatest life, and then figure out what does that mean for us in retirement. As you know, you and I are the same way. We're not going to quit. We love what we're doing. And I think that tells you that the 1930s model of industrial retirement is over, and we're in a different world.
Well, your point, though, there's so many good things out there. I mean, just in the last week or 10 days, wages are beating inflation. In fact, the lowest quartiles are beating inflation better than the upper end quartiles. Drug costs are coming down. The savings accounts, the Trump accounts are very, very, very popular. The wealth creation, people have to own a piece of the rock. All these things. Unemployment is low. I mean, these used to be, but you do have to sell it better. I agree with you about this midterm convention is very, very interesting. I mean, I think the values, too, weird values don't win. Weird values don't win. If you have dirty fingers, you don't wipe them off on the flag of the United States of America, that kind of stuff. Talking about Palestine and transgenderism, those are weird values. I'm sorry. Taxing everybody who lives in New York City and God knows where else, all this socialist stuff stuff. It borders on communism. Maybe it is. I don't know. But they have to just hammer away on that.
Yeah, look, we have to recognize something which, frankly, was pointed out over 30 years ago by an expert. In every industrial democracy, the news media guarantees, because they're so left-wing, that the left will be ahead until the campaign starts. And if you run a good campaign and you tell the truth and you drive the facts home, you don't have to lie. Joseph Napolitano, who is a great Democratic consultant, once said, never underestimate the intelligence of the American people,
Right,
nor overestimate how much information they have. The job of this campaign is to drive home the truth so the American people learn it.
All right. You're right. Spot on, as you always are. Terrific stuff. I got to jump out. Newt Gingrich, thank you. Appreciate it very much.